Well, today we're coming back for episode 3, and we are going to talk about the in betweens. So, we've talked about the highs of starting the business, the lows of what it feels like sometimes when it's the day to day grind and you're not really feeling like you're getting anywhere. But this is the in between, right? It's the unsexy part that really we don't talk about a lot, and what we've been doing to continue the brand, continue to drum up business, and what we want to do going forward.
Absolutely. So, as we dive into this segment or this piece, routine has really been a big player, key player for us.
Mhm.
But as we mentioned before, routine is something that you might not always follow to a T, but it provides you guidelines and like
Mhm.
boundaries to be able to stay on a upward stream, for lack of
Mhm.
better terms. And I think that a lot of the things that kept us accountable and going, that kept us going was the fact that we implemented routine and structure and guidelines and just how we managed our time, what it is that we were going to be doing, how we divided up like our duties. I think early on and even up until now, we still utilize that same type of structure, that same type of
Mhm.
routine, even as we're like relaunching the podcast, right? With like who's gonna
Mhm.
do what and like how it it has kept us above water, I would say, for the past 8 months with all the transition and all of the unknowns and like just decisions that we've had to make. Um, we probably haven't followed it as much in the last couple of months, just trying to get like solidified and like our new day to days look like. But as we come back to, restructuralizing Prosperous, it's that foundation is still there. That groundwork is still there. Those routines are still there. So it's kind of easy to just reintegrate back into.
Yeah, you're right. And there's just days that we feel we're like the weight of the world is coming down. Again, it comes down to like the personal life, and I mean, we everything keeps running, right? It's like we get tired. And motivation will always wane. It doesn't always come down to motivation, right? You're not always going to feel motivated. So what really keeps us going is the systems, it's the process. It's asking the question, okay, what do I need to do first? Like, I don't feel like doing it, but I know that it is going to um that I'm going to be better for following this routine if I just take that first step.
Mhm.
So,
And
that's
having
been.
something to reference to too.
Oh, for sure. Like,
That
because we
checklist
can
is
get so over,
important.
yeah, I mean, we can get so overwhelmed by what's going
Mhm.
on and just like, I don't know where to start. I just feel so
Right.
busy. I still get that way, like just with all the things that are always happening, things never stop. So, but what I always come back to is, what is that first checklist item that I can get done. Okay, what's the next one that I can get done? Really, like something super simple. Um, so yeah, that's been, I think, what's kept us going. And it's not sexy, like I said, but it definitely keeps us going. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Late nights, pivots.
Well, I'm
We
not a night owl. I'm the early bird. We are very opposite in this.
you are like once I see that notification silence note, I just text her tomorrow because she is probably getting ready, winding down, doing her nighttime routine to check out until like 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Cool.
it's whatchamacallit. But we have had later meetings because we've obviously had to pivot now
Hmm.
that you and I are both back to work.
Hmm.
Um, Fortunately enough, we have jobs that allow us the ability to still prioritize our business
Mhm,
in the interim. But
mhm,
as we mentioned in the previous segment, bills had to be paid
mhm.
and will always need to be paid. So,
We got some
um,
children's mouths that need to be fed.
that want to be whipped all over the place and they want like the newest stuff and they want all this stuff. And Abigail looks at me the other day and talks about how she wants to have the new iPhone. And I'm like, girl, I still have like a 14.
I know.
Nah,
I don't
nah,
get it. I don't get
nah.
it. But
Like
yes, our we do
that
have
was a major pivot.
teenagers. They're like little mini adults and
Yeah.
they want all the new things, all the new gadgets and all the new clothing and they see all their friends and so yeah, I
Hmm.
mean we've really had to kind of scale back a little bit. And, really, I think it was a time that we've been able to regroup our thoughts too. So,
Hmm.
so it's been good. I think it's been an in between. And also still the gears are still running in both of our heads. Like, okay, like, you know, the the need to be making money through Prosperous AF is one thing that kind of was it was an anxiety driven thing where we're like we could do this, we could do that and not really being able to decide on something to now that
Hmm.
we have a little bit of security, now we can really come back and say like okay, like take that time, take that
Hmm.
time to really think about where are we going with this business and what do we want to do. So that's why we
Hmm.
continued with the podcast because we came back and we were like, we really just love having these conversations with each other. We really just love having these candid conversations.
Hmm.
And we laugh and we, have some really great conversations that I think are valuable to other people as well
Hmm.
so they can feel like they can relate, you know. One thing that I have heard from other entrepreneurs is that it's lonely. It's a lonely venture and you feel like you don't have a lot of people to talk to or relate to and oh nobody's experiencing this, well when in reality everybody's experiencing that, right? Everybody's experiencing the ghosting or the no's and so just having these conversations was something that we realized that we really love doing. So yeah.
Hmm. I 100% agree. I mean, you mentioned something so important, right? The feedback from other entrepreneurs speaking to how they're lonely. And fortunately
Mm-hmm.
for us, we have each other.
Yeah.
So it's never really lonely on our end, but lonely in the sense of people are very apprehensive to wanting to speak their truth
Mm-hmm.
around business, like
Mm-hmm.
especially on social media. It's
Mm-hmm.
rare that you find people who want to talk about the lows of business, right? Everyone
Mm-hmm.
wants to portray success and success at all times. And that's just not everyone's direct experience. Honestly, I
Mm-hmm.
would say it's maybe 5% of people who start a business just have that uphill trajectory all the time. And even in that, there are times that things are not going to pan out the way you initially anticipated. So it is a lonely space. I think for us as well, just going to and being able to be in different spaces, we see a lot of that of people who just don't want to be vulnerable. And honestly, when they are, it's kind of used against them in a sense. So it makes
Mm-hmm.
the pool of people who want to be more authentically honest about what they're experiencing in their business. Like, for example, I know a few people who literally, who I would have never thought were experiencing hurdles in their business that have now closed their business
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just because of the stigma around asking for help,
Mm-hmm.
collaborating, talking it through, game planning, brainstorming with other people who may be in a similar situation. It's just
Right.
almost unheard of. And
Yeah.
that was something that we really wanted to do, right? Is we really wanted to show people our legitimate experience beginning to end. Well, there is no end, sorry. Beginning, ongoing,
To right
of
now.
all the things, exactly, of all the things that we've experienced. And we like, there's no shame in our game, right? You have a personal brand. I've built a business from the ground up. I
Hmm.
know what it is to really struggle. We have Prosperous
Hmm.
and we've had our bottlenecks with that. So it's just a matter of really going out and singing to the masses that this period is okay. All
Hmm.
you have to do is just pivot,
Yeah.
whether that means going back to work so that your bills are paid in the
Hmm.
interim while you now have alleviated that financial anxiety to be able to build your business, which we
Yeah.
did. Mind you,
Yeah.
I will not lie and say that that is an easy pill to swallow because it's not. There
It's
is a
not. No.
little bit of like shame and like, especially after you've launched a business, like all of a sudden now having to go and work.
Hmm.
But you get over that very quickly because it's like
Yeah.
now you can breathe.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I've settled myself at work. I have more than enough time to still really work on my business and not in it. So
Yeah.
I think that for us, that in between was very much so needed for us
Hmm.
to go back to work, settle our families, and make sure
Hmm.
that everything at home is straight because now we have a fresh, innovative approach
Hmm.
to Prosperous that doesn't come out of desperation.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. And yeah, it is not easy, right? To say like, "Oh, I've had to go back to work," but um again, seeing other people who there is something to be said about having a friend, right?
Mhm,
But when there have been other people that I've seen, and you really think that they're being like like so successful, and then they're either closing their business or they're having to go work back to work too. Like it is
mhm,
not something that we should be ashamed of. I mean, this in this economy right now, you know, like so I don't but that just says more about who we are, and why we keep going, right? We have a purpose for why we keep going, and just continually doing the process over and over and over again. And yeah, pivoting becomes part of it, like um finding what works, like taking a step back and saying, okay, this worked or this didn't work, let's try this.
mhm,
That's how business runs. And so that's why we continue, uh is being consistent, um, the grind, the unsexy parts. But yeah, I mean, yeah, those bills do not stop coming just because you started a business. And like I said,
oh, they
I
don't.
don't think from the beginning, we really did not have a lot of time to even do a market analysis. We didn't have time to really think about all the things that go into what are we going to bring to market. Like we just didn't even have that time, right? We just like jumped but with both feet in. So
Mhm,
this was a really great opportunity for us to like get some of that, get a fresh breath of fresh air, and then really take a step back and say, okay, like in Q4 we're going to come back and we're going to start talking about like all the things. We're going to start talking about our experience. And um so yeah, this has been not just business, building a business, but building character.
mhm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a crasher course in character building 101, which we should probably do another segment on because there's a lot of folks who need it. Anyways, neither
I
here
didn't
nor
say
there.
that.
That's neither here nor there. Let's go into self-improvement and
Sure.
just some of the
Yeah,
things
character
that we do
building.
to self-improve.
Yeah.
Now you have a whole crazy book list which you have pulled me into. We finished the E-Myth and now we're
We
on
did.
Traction. I
Yeah.
mean, I have not been one to read books much in my adult life. Now, when I was younger, my mom, God bless her, she would make me read like encyclopedias and like write reports on like
Mm,
subject. Like for those of y'all who don't know what encyclopedias are, they're like the internet in book form. So you go and you get the reference book, you find a topic, and then you have to find the specific book that it's a whole thing. Like millennials will understand sort of kind of, like I'm more on like the 80s side of millennial path than I am on like closer to the 2000s, but it doesn't matter. She would make me read encyclopedias, and for me, like when I got older and out of like my mom's house, and I just never really connected reading. Like it just was always just such a,
like
I don't know.
enjoyment.
Yeah, because I never did it because I liked doing it. It was always
Mhm.
something that I had to do,
Yeah, it
and
was
I just
forced. Yeah.
hated doing it so much.
Hmm.
So when I became an adult, I was like, yeah, I have to read a book and blah blah. But as we're now reading books, especially books on improving your business and improving yourself, I understand the importance of keeping your brain working and intaking as much knowledge as you can from multiple different sources, books being one of those, because my brain is now working at a faster pace than I ever thought it could be. Now, if you know me, you know I can wing a lot of stuff on the fly, right? I pick up words very quickly and I can hold a conversation quite well. But one thing that I'm thoroughly enjoying at this point is that I'm learning. And it's been
Mm,
such a long time since I've actually, or well, since I was actually able to learn voluntarily outside of
mhm,
school. And I'm
mhm.
intrigued and interested in the things that I'm learning, and it's locking and sticking, and I the sky's the limit. Honestly, that's all I can
I
say.
love
The
that.
sky's the limit. Even though I am way more behind on our book than you. Sorry, I will catch up. But just the ability to actually want to read a book and to be
Hmm.
intrigued by the information I'm gaining from a book is a skill I think all entrepreneurs need to acquire to stay ahead of your time and to really have that knowledge pool, whether you went to college or not. Like this has nothing to do with just education status quo, but just to continue to learn and implement things in your life, in your business that'll help you be successful long term.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I agree. There's just some foundations in a book that are never going to go away.
Yeah.
It's just timeless knowledge.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, we both read the E-Myth. Well, you listened to it. Do you
Yeah,
feel
I
that
listen.
maybe that is a better medium for you than actually sitting down and reading?
The ADHD in my brain, 100%. As a self-diagnosed ADHDer,
Yeah.
100% listening to the book is like I just it allows me to just be able to focus. If I
Mm,
physically pick up a book and read, my mind will be all over the place.
uh-huh,
Words, I think I might be even borderline dyslexic. It's so hard to just stay focused. But
mhm,
I like listening to music, and I'm an audio sensory type person. So if
mhm,
I'm listening to something, I can hone in on it and focus on it more. Like sometimes I don't even watch the TV. I just listen to it.
mhm.
I know that's weird. I just listen, but it's like an audio sensory thing for me. So I really do enjoy listening to books versus reading them.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm complete opposite. When I listen to something, my brain is somewhere else. Like I feel like it's kind of in the background and I'm not really taking in all of the
Mhm.
content. So for me, reading it is very crucial. Um, so yeah, and I think one of the strategies for well, this is my strategy is I when I wake up and I'm getting ready to do my morning workout, I set a 15-minute timer and I just kind of take my book, and read it and get about 10 pages in for the day. And slowly but surely I've been able to get through, books. And yeah, so as of right now, um we are we read the E-Myth. We are reading Traction.
Mhm.
And then from there, I'm not really sure what book we're going to read next, but
I'm really
I
I
really
want to
enjoyed.
read Let Them the Let Them theory,
Oh, sure.
or the what was it? EOS? Was it the EOS?
That's traction. Yep.
There was another one.
Oh, really? Well, the EOS system is part of the traction book,
Okay, maybe I'm mixing up names.
but that's okay. We have our book list.
Let Them theory,
Our nerdy book list.
book club loading soon. The Prosperous AF book club learning soon.
Yeah, and
Um,
if you wanna be a part of our book club and read along with us, we would love to have you. So put it in the comments if you want to be part of our book club.
yeah, we would love to have you. Now, in addition to your love of books, you
Mhm.
have a love of podcasts, which you so diligently share with me every day, and I love that for you and me. Um, so what really gets you going about podcasts? Like what usually draws you to a topic?
Well, I would definitely say that most of the podcasts I listen to are about business.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I think it's a long form,
Mhm.
um, piece of content that I can put on in the background, like, if I'm working or if I'm, folding towels at home or something, I can just listen to it, but it really gives me a lot of I think what I really love about podcasts, and especially podcasts that are interviews, and especially the ones that are from interviews of different business owners and what they're doing to either be successful or when they do, draw out their vulnerability and say, I tried this and it didn't work, but, I pivoted and, now this is working. So I think just different ideas
Mhm.
of what other business owners are doing and other different strategies that I wouldn't have, thought about. So I also listen to podcasts just to like see well, I really like studying the content creator themselves, the person who produces the podcast and see how they are making money, shall I say, how they've structured their own business, right? So like
Yeah.
and this is just me and my nerdiness is I will reverse engineer somebody like an influencer online and I'll say, okay, what are their offers? What is their vibe? How are they how are they making money? And then because those are the types of things that you can model and implement
Mhm.
in your own business.
Mhm.
So, and I often say, well, if that person can do it, then why can't I do it?
Definitely the nerd in you.
I, I'm like, not, I mean, it really just takes action, right? So, it's all about taking action. You get the idea and then you act on it. So,
Mhm.
and I'm just always like, well, shoot, if this person started from 0 and they're here now, like
Mhm.
surely I could do that too. So what are they doing
Mhm.
in order to get to that point? So I really like breaking that down and reverse engineering those types of strategies.
Nerd.
I
Like taking a computer
know, I'm
apart and putting
embracing
it
it.
back together.
I'm embracing it.
And I love that for you. I love it for you. You can, yep. I'm jumping on the nerdy train with you. It's a good place to be. Do to all my fellow nerds out there. Do not allow someone to make you think or feel less than because you are a nerd. I am one. I'm changing the game.
You're
I
one in
now want to
training,
be identified as a nerd. I'm
a nerd
training
in training.
currently from the biggest nerd I know. So, nothing wrong with being a nerd. I embraced it actually. But yeah, so now that we're back doing our podcast, I know there were, we got a lot of feedback just from the last couple episodes that we had launched on YouTube and people loved it. Like they loved what we were talking about. It was fresh, it was innovative, the perception that we had or, the perception that we wanted to bring to our audience and to our following. Um, but we did decide to make a few changes. One of that being we will make our episodes a little shorter. And that is of no one's fault but mine because as we know, when the F and AF goes on tangents. It's kind of hard to slow me down, but Amber's got a timer set for me. So I will not be going over time by 20 minutes and taking us into 46 minutes and an hour of podcasting time. We have a max cap at 30.
That's right.
Let's clap. Let's clap for the F and AF. Yes.
She's
So
doing it, y'all. She's doing it.
we loved and appreciated all the suggestions. Honestly, the podcast blew up more than we anticipated. When we start talking about it, everyone and their mama wanted to be on the show. We will be bringing people on virtually, which is a better option because we, like Amber stated before, we want to reach an audience outside of just our demographic and where we live right now, our geographic location. So we decided to switch over to virtual, but the same us, same vibes, same feelings, same faces. Even though we do look a little cute,
We
because
do look cute on
we
camera.
got we got weight loss goals. Oh, we've been crushing it in all different departments. New and improved, prosperous AF. But yes, we loved you guys' suggestions. We decided to take it into account as we were planning this relaunch. Super excited to be back. Now, with that being said, where are we now? A and AF.
Well, we're doing our podcast. We're still continuing to meet, and talk about our goals, talk about, what's next, following what we've been reading in the E-Myth and Traction. So there's a lot of good strategies to implement in that.
Mhm.
As much as we talk about systems and process, we also need to continue to get our ducks in a row. There's always room for improvement, right?
Always.
So, we do want to continue with the podcast, and we're going to start talking about some of the tools that we use, some of the process that we use as well. And so that's where we are right now, continuing to work on our character building, work on our business building, continue to foster our relationships that we've already established. And one of the tactics and strategies for that is reaching out and just being like, hey, what's going on? Just entering back into, the relationship building mode. So that's probably what is on the horizon for Q4. As we're breaking down into quarters, 90-day sprints. And if you have read Traction, those are called rocks as well. So rocks are the big things that you want to work on in the quarter. So so that's where we are. And we look forward to producing more interesting and funny podcasts. And like you said, bringing other people on and talking about their success as well and what they're doing in their business to be successful and stay sane in this crazy entrepreneurial world.
Yeah, it's crazy times for sure. But as we wrap up, we want you to remember, celebrate your own in between moments. Share
That's
your
right.
progress with us at Prosperous AF. That's on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And join our Prosperous AF community. As much as we would love to give y'all the insights and all the deets, as I always say, about our journey and where we are and where we plan on going, we want to see you guys' story too. We want to see your success. We want to see your wins. We want to see your lows. We want you to feel and connect with people who align and understand that entrepreneurship is in tune a journey. It is not a one all be all. Your journey does not start and end today and tomorrow. It is a process over time. And we are wanting that process to be longevity. Wrapping up this 3-part series, this was our update series, just wanting y'all to know kind of why we kind of disappeared for a little bit for a little bit there. To come back, give you all some insight on just where we've been at, where we plan on going. But this is just the beginning. We're building
Right.
together, and this is your front row seat for our journey. And we will also like to have front row seats to yours. So, in the interim, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good things. Follow on all the big social media platforms. We're on all of them. and shoot us a message if you want to chop it up, you want to be on the show, let us know. But until next time, we love, appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the support over this last 8 months. Um, until further ado, Prosperous AF out.
Bye.